I was picked on and bullied pretty bad from 1st grade through 10th grade. My stepfamily was mentally cruel. They would constantly put me down and not involve me in fun activities. Once, I was beat over the head and back with sticks as I was cowering away from my stepsisters. I looked up toward their grandmother's house to see the grandmother watching this happen from the balcony. The next thing I knew, their grandmother was yanking my hair and dragging me into the house to be punished. I was so infuriated at this point that I made up my mind to never speak to them again. Anytime I had to be around them from then on, if they tried to interact with me, I would run into the field behind the house. I separated myself from the world. I talked to people as little as possible. I turned to music as an escape. I became very depressed, and found myself on the steps of an abandoned trailer with a pile of the sharpest glass I could find. I tried for a good 2 hours to cut my wrist, but the glass wouldn't even make a scratch. I fell into deep depression and a lack of self-worth for many years. Counselors didn't help. Life had no meaning or purpose. I was just existing. I partied at a buddy's house for 2 weeks, and on my last morning there, a bus showed up. My buddy had apparently promised to go to church with a guy named Randy once if he would stop bugging him, and this was that day. Since my buddy was my ride home, I had to tag along on that bus ride. They had a serious moment, asking anyone who was not absolutely sure that they would be in heaven if they died tonight, to raise their hands if they wanted to know Jesus. Well, I raised my hand because I wanted to know for sure. Randy came over and prayed a prayer with me. He showed me Romans 10:9, where it says, "If I confess with my mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in my heart that God raised him from the dead, I am saved," rescued from separation from him. That very moment I felt different, lighter, like many burdens were taken off my shoulders. I've continued to go through difficult times in life, but I got through them because he was with me. Once I came out the other side, I was stronger, wiser, and better for it. He doesn't allow us to go through something to destroy us but to build us up. He has restored my hope when I was ready to give up on everything. I was on the edge of despair with no reason to continue, but as one last option I turned to God and said, "If all that stuff that's written in that book is real, if you really do want to provide for me, take care of me and bless me, then here I am. I will give you all of my heart." Since then, I have life, I have purpose, I have goals. Hopes that I thought were once lost forever are restored, and even new dreams have been added. He restored my ability to feel emotions, the ability to love others. I was able to forgive myself. Yes, now I have peace when things look bad. I have joy when I should have sorrow. It defies logic, but he changes hearts, minds, and circumstances. Everything in the book is true. Everything it promises is real, active in anyone's life if they choose to let him in. He does exist. He does hear your prayers, and prayer really does work. He really does speak to us. You could come to know the God of all creation. Wouldn't that be awesome? To be good buddies with the King of all kings? Yes, to have it in good with the man upstairs. Well, the good news is he wants to be friends with you. He wants you to know him. You actually have an invitation from God himself to meet him. You accept this invitation by letting him into your heart. Are you willing to accept this invitation? If no, okay, but we are not promised tomorrow. If yes, it's easy. A real quick prayer and mean it with all your heart, and the journey with God begins this very moment.